That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the wonderful world of Minecraft, and today I'm showing off my favorite Minecraft mods. Personally, they are fit to make the game still feel semi-vanilla, while also making the game, well, playable. As we all know, the current version of Minecraft is sometimes not as playable as you might want it to be. So stay tuned as I'm linking all of these mods in my Discord server, linked down below, which you can go ahead and get the code to import it straight into your CurseForge and get it yourself right away, as well as receiving updates every time I add new content to the mod pack. Although it is on a bit of a steep edge right now, as my computer is barely running it, or loading it up, then it's running it just fine, which is an interesting thing. So let's get right into the mods and, well, why I have them installed on here. Alright, and here we are in CurseForge. Now, I would show footage of every single one of the mods I have installed in this mod pack. You can see a quick glimpse of them. But again, there's 103 pieces of content. Of course, some of them are switchable, like our shaders, which, why not? Let's start right there. So I have 5 different options currently in here. My personal favorite is Super Duper Vanilla, as you saw in the intro. Very, very good shader. That's probably my favorite shader. We also have Photon if you're going for a realistic look, Complementary, Unbound, and Reimagined, and BSL. But again, I was going for a still Minecrafty feel, so I went for the Super Duper Vanilla shaders. And in resource packs, we have better lanterns, which obviously, as the name suggests, makes lanterns just better. Fresh animations, or you can choose Gray's Mob Overhaul, although I would recommend fresh animations over it, as this one takes away, like, a villager looks like an animal, which is interesting. We then have Better Leaves. This is a very good mod. I think most of us have this mod. And this mod, you may or may not have heard of it. It's Shrimp's Immersive Interfaces. This one brings your crafting table UI into a whole different universe, ranging from literally looking like how it is currently as gray tiles to literally looking like you're placing it on the crafting table. And they have some mods that make it feel even more immersive as you're doing it. So here we have Alex's Caves, which is obviously, I mean, that's obviously optional. It adds some interesting caves. It's probably one of the less vanilla feeling mods in here. Alex's Delight, again, I mean, it's good. I believe it's cooking, right? Holy stutter. I believe it's like Farmer's Delight. Alex's Mobs. This one I think is a good one. Of course, you can remove it as well. Alex's Caves Exemplified. I think this is the one that adds like the weird, cool like magnet caves and whatever. That one's interesting. Animation Overhaul. This one I would recommend. This one's cool. Very, very nice. Anvil Restoration. So this one allows you to restore anvils by repairing them, rather than crafting a whole new one, which winds up being cheaper in the long run. Apple Skin. I think we've all heard of Apple Skin, haven't we? It's the one that shows you your saturation, how much you're going to heal. That one, I think we're all clear on what Apple Skin does. I don't need to go too deep in that one. That one we can skip over. Uh, Better FPS render distance. Um, I do recommend. I think that's the one thing keeping me able to even record with like 20 chunk render distance. Because my computer is not the most powerful, meaning your computer can probably run this mod pack. Better villages. This one, depends what you're going for. The mods that I have at the bottom balance it out, but it removes a lot of the loot table from villages. Like how the blacksmith has obsidian and diamonds and iron. This kind of takes it away for a better aesthetic. So again, depending on what you're going for here, um, add it, don't add it. I have it in here. I think it's cool because I have other mods that balance out the loot table. I feel like it's almost better to have this in here just to balance it out, because otherwise it'd be a bit too much, I think. Better FPS, or sorry, better F3. My bad. I'm used to FPS and stuff. We just went over that mod up here. Better F3. It makes your F3 screen customizable. Currently I haven't got mine customized. I'm still like putting it all together. And then we have Biomes O'Plenty. I think most of us have played around with this mod. Again, if you're an absolute like new person to mods, which would surprise me very much, as I think a lot of these mods have been out for a while. Um, Biomes O'Plenty adds plenty of biomes. Um, Read the title backwards, I guess. And I think it adds a nice touch. You could see one of those biomes in the background of the intro. Uh, you could see one of Alex's mobs in the intro as well, just for a second there. I think there's a whale or something that jumped in the background. And then we have Carrion. So Carrion's cool. You can pick up stuff like furnaces into your hands, which might sound OP at first, but it only works for certain ones. And honestly, it saves quite a bit of time for like absolutely nothing. I mean, it's just carrying stuff. You can also carry your friends. I think that one's pretty funny. You can just pick them up and run away with them. That one's probably a funny one. Cave Dust. This one was one of the ones that was like, should I add it? Because I've played around with Cave Dust before, and I feel like it's almost too much. Like, if you're in a big open cave, this is in 1.21, so there are some big caves in it, and I feel like sometimes it lowers your view so much. Again, this one can be turned on and off and stuff, like so. Chisel Reborn and Chisels and Bits. These go together, I do believe. And it's chisels and bits, which allows you to take away little bits of the wall and stuff and like carve it out. This one's pretty good, I would say, if you want to make cool little decorations in your base that are custom. Um, you can make pretty much anything. So go ham with it. These two we don't need to talk about. Clumps. Again, this is like to improve your frame rate. It just combines XP into clumps, which completely um, changes your frame rate. I mean, if you're using an XP farm, there's a noticeable difference. Comforts. I think some of us have seen comforts. I don't know how many people actually use this mod. Um, I didn't know this mod existed until I made this. I don't think. Well, at least not the name. I have played some mods with it in it, I do believe. But this one adds sleeping bags, hammocks, all that cool stuff that you want in your world. Because sleeping bags and hammocks are not in vanilla, and some of us really want those, and they won't give it to us. And then we have Corpse. Again, Corpse is a really cool one. When you die, rather than your stuff flying everywhere, it turns into a corpse. Now I'm not quite sure how to get rid of the corpse when you die, so if you die in your base, I think it stays there for quite a bit. Just be forewarned. Cosmetic armor. So I thought this one was cool because it's in an update with armor trims, and we all know how cool gold armor and redstone trim looks with that one like cool trim on it. And we know that gold armor is garbage, and I thought that was so cool that we could throw on netherite but then still have that cool look. I thought it was so cool. Again, this one I would recommend if you have two monitors, as cubes without borders allows you to tab out of the game, which for me is a lifesaver as a YouTuber. Lets you tab out of the game without it like uh, minimizing itself, because we all know that's a pain. That we don't need to talk about. Deeper and darker. This one's an interesting one. I haven't played around with this one yet, but it sounded cool, so I added it. That's kind of one of the things that I tend to do. I just add it because it sounds cool. But it adds a whole update to the Deep Dark, which adds a whole dimension. I think it overhauls the structure quite a bit as well, which is really cool. Now this one, I know these next two are going to sound kind of stupid, okay? Diagonal fences and double doors. They do as they say, but diagonal fences is a lot cooler than it sounds, okay? I used it in my world, and it's so cool. It's so much better than putting a corner on something to just diagonally cut it. And double doors. This one is interesting because it works with trapdoors too, which I thought was interesting because I had a ladder system with trapdoors on it, and all the trapdoors would open if you opened one of them. I thought I'd just throw that out there because that could be a pain when building. So again, this one's always optional, all of them. Dungeons and Taverns. I have another mod in this mod pack. Well, a series of mods like it. Um, I think some people probably know about this mod. I didn't know about it. You probably do. I'm just undereducated. But this adds dungeons and cool things like that. It overhauls structures, which I think is interesting that it allows me to use this one with the other ones that I have. Dynamic trees. So this one I added before I added Biomes of Plenty, I think. I think it works with trees that are already in the game. I could be wrong, though. I could be very wrong. Because I've only played around with the Biomes of Plenty trees, because Biomes of Plenty takes up the whole Minecraft world, I swear. It is like almost impossible to find vanilla trees after you install the mod. I mean, I think there's one next to my base, it's just far away off the start. Easy anvils. So I thought this one was cool. You can use name tags without an anvil. That was one of the cool parts. And also, your anvils, it's free to rename items, which I also thought was cool. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it'll save you quite a few levels. It also removes the too expensive notification. I think we've all ran into it, where you're trying to make god stuff and it says too expensive, and it doesn't let you enchant it. Yeah, that's annoying. Easy shulker boxes. So this one's a necessity in my life, I think, because shulker boxes are annoying to place down and then pick up and then, you know, put stuff in and then forget that you put something in there and you're wasting durability on your pickaxe or you're just taking forever to punch it. Yeah, so that's where easy shulker boxes come in. You can unload and load up items in your inventory, which I thought was really cool. And elytra trims. I don't know why this wasn't in the game when they added trims. Oh my, it's so cool. You can like design your armor, um, but you're elytra. Like again, like we were talking with the armor trims up there, it's elytra trims. So cool. And essentials mod. This one feels essential for any mod. I don't think I have to explain why this is in here. It lets you play with friends for free. Like you don't have to pay for a server or you don't have to join a public one. You know what I mean? You can customize your character. I'm sure there's other mods for it, but none of this Essentials mod is cool. Farmer's Delight. I also have the DLC Nether's Delight somewhere in here. This is like farming. It adds onions and stuff. All sorts of cool things to farm, and it adds like a stove with a pot and a pan. I think it's pretty cool that you can cook things. Very, very cool. Fast item frames. So this again reduces lag. I really need less lag because otherwise, it wouldn't have even been possible for me to record the intro, which is yes in 1880p. Yell at me later. It looks much cooler in person. Okay. It lets you turn in item frames invisible. Oh boy. Um, that's one of the cool parts. It also just, I mean, reduces how much lag they emit. I think it also reduces lag on armor stands for some reason. I don't know. Or it could be the other mod that I have for armor stands. Any of those two. First person model. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. You didn't get to see it in the intro because I wasn't in first person, but it lets you see your body, which at first seems cursed, but then after a bit it almost feels necessary. And free cam. I haven't uploaded any content on here yet that I must use free cam in this mod pack, but if you think I should start a series in the perfect Minecraft experience, then free cam lets me free cam and take a look at my world, which is so much better for recording, and it lets you look at your builds that are incomplete and I mean better screenshots. That's pretty cool. Gaggle Living Glitch Core. Inventory HUD Plus. So you did see that one in the intro. It lets you see your durability on your weapons and stuff, which on default is percent. But if you change it to remaining hits, it's actually so helpful. I mean, it shows armor as well, and it shows potion effects, and you can set your inventory up as well. So cool. And Jade. Ooh. Okay. I'm pretty sure most of us know what Jade is, But this is a crazy mod. I mean, you look at a block and it tells you what it is, how long it takes to mine when you're mining it, what tool you need, and of course we have Jade add-ons. Um, don't ask me about what it adds. I didn't look into the details on that one at all. So don't ask me. I saw Jade add-ons and I got it. Okay. I don't think I need to explain that one. I think that's just enough items. So this one's cool. Um, this one shows you the recipes for items. I'm pretty sure since it's like the most installed mod on the internet, I don't have to explain this one. I mean, everybody knows it. Uh, Same said for this one. It might be a beta of this one, and a little bit of a difference. It's just enough resources, which shows you mob drops. You can see it in this little picture here. This little tiny picture. I don't know how it looks in 1880p, but this little tiny picture shows you all the drops. I don't think I need to explain that. Macaw's windows. You ever get mad at the windows because they're just so annoying? Yeah, me too. The windows are just so bad. I don't care what you say, whether they've changed from the old ones to the new ones, they're still bad. Um, these add like real cool windows that are probably made in Blender. They look really cool. Mob drop recipes. I forgot which recipes these add, but there's an overworld, a nether, and an end, which just adds new recipes. And then we have mouse tweaks. So if you don't know what mouse tweaks is, um, you should probably start putting it in your mod packs because the little details all start to count up. Yes, I do love PC gaming. Please leave me alone. Um, Mouse tweaks lets you transfer things from your inventory. Use all those little things like crafting and stuff so much easier. It's just like all those little tweaks. You can read the description of mouse tweaks for all the little details. I don't got time to explain every single little detail to mouse tweaks. Nether's Delight, again, this is an add-on to Farmer's Delight, which adds like a nether stove and stuff, and you can cook things from the nether. Very cool. You should go get it. Not enough animations. Again, you can never have too many animations, so I got more. Animations are cool. Notes. So this might not seem like a big one at first, but once you get it and start writing down your coordinates in your notes, you're gonna realize why you need it. Yeah, because I forget my coordinates all the time, and it saves instead of the chat, which doesn't. Pickup notifier. If you've ever played Ark, which I'm pretty sure most of us have, although some Minecraft players never get off Minecraft and never see the light of other games, this one is similar to the Ark pickup system where it tells you in the little corner how much you've picked up, and then it eventually disappears, right? And then we have Optifine. Um, you need it to run the shaders. It's Optifine. Optifine is Optifine. We all know what Optifine is. Right click harvest. So if you press right click while holding a hoe, you harvest a 3x3 area and it replants the seeds as long as you have the seeds in your inventory. I thought that was a cool one, and if you have a large farm, it's almost a necessity. And then we have seasons. So this one was cool. I thought this one was really cool because it rotates through the seasons, right? You got spring, summer, fall, and winter, and it cycles through. And sometimes there'll be snow, sometimes there'll be like falling leaves and crap. Sometimes it'll just be really irritatingly bright outside with those really bright leaves. Seasons. Yep. I think that's been explained to enough of an extent. And then simple voice chat. If you're going for a single player experience, again, this isn't necessary. Um, but multiplayer, um, this mod pack is multiplayer accessible. Obviously, we have some mods in here that are multiplayer targeted. I think there's one coming up soon, maybe. Nope, not even close. Okay. And then we have skin layers 3D. I don't think I've really saw this one work. I think the Essentials mod throws over this one, but whatever. Smarter Farmers. This one is because we have Farmer's Delight. They are pretty much a dream team come true because you need this one for the farmers to plant the Farmer Delight crops in the villages. which again, the village overhaul makes the farms a little bit smaller, I think, and a little bit less frequent, but they are still there. And yes, onions and what else is there in Farmer's Delight? I don't know. It all spawns in the villages, okay? Sophisticated backpacks. This one might take a while to get at first, um, but the backpack is a lifesaver. It's like an early game shulker box. Unfortunately, easy shulker boxes does not make the backpacks work in your inventory, so shulker boxes are still 4 times better. You're gonna want shulker boxes, and then that's for the sophisticated stuff and sophisticated storage, which adds new cool storage units. These two are just really cool. They work well. I believe this one, no, this one adds the storage drawers, but cool. Sound physics remastered. This one's almost necessary when you go mining and stuff. The echoes and stuff. I think the zombie echoes sound cool too. Spawn animations. This one's pretty cool. The zombies actually rise from the ground instead of just poofing into existence, which combos really well with our resource pack fresh animations. We all love it. We all love it very much. Storage drawers. It adds like those cool drawers and stuff, you know. Those are very cool, right? We all love drawers. Drawers are almost a necessity in all packs. These are what I'm talking about. But what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about dungeons and taverns. This one was our multiplayer oriented one. We'll get to that after we talk about vein mining, which is an enchantment, so it is not busted. Not every pickaxe mines a vein, okay? But once you get the enchantment on your pickaxe, it will mine the whole vein when you mine one piece of the ore, okay? It's not OP. You still have to get it off of your enchanting table or find it in chest or whatever, okay? Visual workbench. So this one, when you place things on the crafting table, leaves it on the crafting table, and it rotates in your direction that you're standing to. Really cool. I'll try and get footage of that maybe. But again, it'll be linked in my Discord, down in my description. There'll be a whole section in my Discord for mods, and you will get updates every time I add something new and a new link to import it in or whatever. Or you can just download it manually, all the things that I add. But I tend to add like 5 to 7 mods at one time, and some people don't like typing it in, so copy paste is nice and easy for them. So what are they up to, or WATUT, is multiplayer orientated. You really can't see much of it in single player. I mean, you can. If you go into third person and start typing in chat, you can see it, but that's about it for what you can see in single player. Otherwise, in multiplayer, you'll be able to see what people are doing in all the inventories and stuff, which is really cool for multiplayer. It's definitely a must if you're doing multiplayer. It also shows when they're AFK and stuff, when they've been away for like 5 minutes or something like that. World playtime. I don't know if this is just like a me thing, but I like to see how long I've been in a world. I don't know, it seems fun. Fun like that. And then we have this mess. So, these are Young's Better structures. Unfortunately, they do not have like a Young's Better structures that you can just put in. You have to get each of these structures separately, which I thought was interesting. They improve all of the structures, which again is why I thought having Dungeons and Taverns working with this was a bit weird, but it works. So that's interesting. You have a lot of structures in your world, is all I'm saying. There's pretty much no shortage when you load into a new world. You'll probably find one within 1,000 blocks for sure. In any direction. You can run anywhere and you will find one. So this upgrades desert temples, dungeons, end islands. The like, you know what I mean by end islands, like the cool little structures on them. Jungle temples, mine shafts, nether fortresses, ocean monuments, strongholds, and witch huts. Um, there's not going to be footage of all of these, but I think the desert temple is pretty cool, so I'll probably put that one in. And with that, let's hop right into it and show some footage of all of the above things. And yes, your speedrunning the nether will be coming soon. Do not throw a tantrum, okay? I'm just busy right now, and this was easy for me. It's just 23 minutes of me talking about mods. Don't worry. It's coming. Alright, and here we are in game. So this is better lanterns. And this is going to be the better crafting interface. You can see we have this. It also overhauls your inventory, as you can see. Cool little hotbar and stuff. We also have our cool little like UI down here, which yes is customized to show durability. You can see this has 1,561 blocks left before it breaks. Mine is configured on blocks. Again, you are going to have to go into your settings and change that if you want it to be like that, because otherwise it's going to be on percent or whatever. It works with pretty much everything in the game, I do believe. This is not even the newest version. This is 1.20.1. The newer versions will probably have all of them in it, and I think it's really cool that they all work and they still have all this stuff. The brewing stand is especially cool. This is a cabbage crate, which you can see up at the top with, what was it? Jade. Jade, right. So it's from Farmer's Delight. This is a cabbage crate. Potato crate, it does work with vanilla stuff. You can crate things by using a 3x3 grid and just throwing it all in there. It will make a crate of it. And we have the onions that I was talking so much about. And if I go ahead and give myself a nice view like so, we can go ahead and see that when I go and type in chat, maybe, yes, there we go. So you can see that kind of does a little cool animation every time I type words. Well, not words, but typing. And if we look behind us, as you can see the shadow approaching us, we have the desert temple. I think this is crazy. It's just so cool to see the desert temple every time. And yes, there are puzzles and stuff inside, but you can just break through them. I mean, it is Minecraft. And over here, again, we'll see if it lags as I'm loading in. But this is a better village, I do believe. This might be a side structure right here. I don't know if I'm lagging or not. I think I'm lagging a bit. Uh-oh. Let's just push a bit. So this might be a little pillager, like, outpost kind of thing. But this is the village. You can see there's some cool new structures. This is a really small one, unfortunately. I don't think there's much inside of these chests, is there? If it'll let me open them. Hey, there we go. So you can see, again, cool interface. We have this. The villager is echoing from inside of his house. You can kind of hear how the sounds are different from inside versus outside. And you can see, fresh animations is really cool. I mean, I did have this to show it off, but again, super cool. And with that, that is probably going to conclude this video. Oh, there's your F3 screen. That was the wrong button. Uh, that's going to conclude this video on an epic outro screen. I hope you enjoyed, and yes, your speedrunning the Nether will probably come out next week if I'm not busy. I was just busy this week, okay? I'm sorry. It's promised it's coming out. I say, I hold true to my promises. God, I cannot speak English today. Anyway, peace, love, and I will see you in speedrunning the Nether probably. Cool.